I'm alive.
I'm alive. I'm alive. Good morning. Welcome
morning.
to Waffle Time. It's that time of week, day, month, year again.
Friday morning.
That's it.
I would say every morning, but it's not every morning really.
It's not
every Friday
morning.
even.
I couldn't deal with every morning. It messed me up. My life is it's too full already, and I wouldn't be able to go drifting like on Wednesdays.
You have to bring that up every time.
I did. I had to get it in there. Anyway, we're back again. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate that somebody listens to our
ramblings.
Rambling ruffle. I couldn't even say that. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of new parts come in.
Yeah.
We've had a big delivery off MST once again. We've got more stuff coming in next week. We've got Overdose on the way. I think we've got some Yokomo on the way and some Thunder Power on the way, and everything's on the way. So
pretty much
we're doing right in that sense. OMG, oh my gosh, only manufactured golden, actually. But so we figured we'd show you the new stuff that's in.
Yep.
Starting out with some universal parts that have come in and some new color options. Mainly wheels. We got everything in gold. I just bashed the mic, so I wrecked the mic, son. Wrecked the mic.
Better not wreck the mic.
So we have the FX, the Type C, and the RE30, as well as the original
full gangster.
Full gangster.
That's not in shot there.
You didn't plan that shot very well. The original 5-spoke in gold.
Yeah, they're +8s, aren't they?
They're 8s. The FX is that one is a 5. That's the Type C is an 11, and the RE30 is a 10. So just give an idea.
We have them in all the offsets as well.
The other one we've got in is the new gold. Well, we've got all the colours of the new GTR wheel, which is pretty uber schnitzel.
It's super detailed.
Super detailed.
It's probably the most detailed I've seen on a wheel.
Exactly. I don't know if I can get that.
You won't get
even closer on the camera, but.
Unfortunately, our website hasn't got all the photos for these wheels yet because they're not available from MST, and it means us opening one of every packet, and that's not going to happen.
We don't want to do that. No. Well, in a way, I sort of do.
I do, but I don't want to have to take all those.
Oh, it's opened. I'll have to.
If I put it this way, I don't want to have to edit all those photos.
Yeah, that's
a lot of photos.
All right, that's fair enough. But anyway, we've got all these wheels, new and old, in gold.
God.
I didn't.
Jesus
I
Christ.
didn't even plan for that. I didn't even. It just came out. That was natural.
That was bad.
So yeah, they're super good. I'm happy because my shell currently is brown and gold basically.
It was good timing.
It was good timing.
For sure.
So I think I'm going to end up running with brown for the worlds, which we'll talk about later. But
God,
I'm loving the brown. Brown down. No. Stopping that one. Okay. So anyway, that's the wheels. The other thing we've got in is the new 210 462 hardcore spring set in 31 millimeters.
I have been playing with these, and they're fantastic.
They're a wide coil.
They're very basic, but superb. I put these onto my two-wheel drive RMX, and basically it just made it really easy to drive. My settings weren't very good on it. I kind of messed up the settings on the RMX. Excuse me. And I put them on, and without changing anything else, it's just fixed it.
That's
so it's the silver one.
The silver RMX
do you want to grab
over there.
As soon as you like getting up and picking stuff up. This is my two-wheel drive car. I say silver. It's silver with a splash of purple.
So there's that.
But they're fitted and they're pretty good. They're not as hard as I was expecting them to be, although they are the two softest ones from the pack, I think.
Well,
red and gold.
To give a brief explanation and put credit where credit is due, Sensei Mizunaga from old Sui Jetson, Tetsujin, basically his recommendation is that when you've got a longer spring with a wide coil, it's much easier to get traction. So your settings don't have to be as accurate. So, having a 31 mil spring, but with super wide coils, as you can see, really makes it easy to find the gripping point of the spring. So in terms of, if you're running on carpet, for example, or asphalt maybe, they're probably a very good spring. Once you get into finer surfaces like your P tiles and your your polished concretes where it's a bit sort of smoother. You want to go back to more cores in the spring because you want that action to be slower. But certainly on carpet, asphalt, or just generally any surface where you're not quite sure of where your setting should be, then the wide coil spring is where it's at. So yeah, wide coil springs, 31 mil, part number 210462. Easy traction, easy grip, easy setup.
Just
very,
easy.
Very recommended. This will be in my own personal arsenal as well because it's such a good thing to have. Yeah, about 10 minutes after we finish this waffle. Right, moving on. We've got some other stuff that happened. We have various options with the XXXD now. We have the XXXD S. We have the XXXD Pro HT. The S is now also HT variant suspension, so that's available. Of course, we have the VIP as well. That is my current.
Sorry, quick interruption. Thanks, Christopher, for letting us know the new microphone sounds much better.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Chris.
That's very helpful.
Thanks. We needed that. We were a little concerned about it. So yeah, that's my own personal XXX VIP at the moment. This is kind of
it's a non-HT.
It's a non-HT, and it's a bit of a hodgepodge of
I was going to say that's
parts.
It's been pieced together with leftovers and bits that we've had lying around and chassis that we've had sort of available. And
yeah,
it's not one kit. It's about 4.
Well, there's bits of XXXR in there. There's bits of effectively HT with the newest slide rack. We've got the new shock towers on there.
Yeah,
which is popping up in the middle.
We also have them in all of the colours, which you can't see because they're hidden behind these boxes now.
Well, you're in the way. I mean, we could grab them.
That's probably the easiest way of doing it. We have the full colour range. We get the red one anyway.
There's a red one there. I'll let you do this.
We have all the colours. We have silver, purple, black, blue, and red, which is hard to pick up on this camera for some reason.
And the new detail that probably won't be able to pick up on camera, and you won't pick up on my chassis because it's silver and it's the only one that doesn't have it, is actually now the new towers have they've got like a milled edge, very much like an overdose part.
Yep.
So they've picked up that style, and it's a much sharper looking product. So MST again, every time a new product comes out, they step up their game. Same with the wheels. New wheel comes out, the details increased.
Yeah.
The manufacturing quality is increased.
Yeah.
And the amount of time we've been doing it. And originally we were happy with the quality of MST.
Yeah, but it's
and now
now
it's a different league.
I
entirely.
remember when we got our first batch of MST stock in and being like, "This is good.
Yeah.
This is really good." And now it's just like, yeah, it's just the best.
Yeah.
Like, it's as good as anything, if not better.
Yeah, exactly. So
that was very scouse.
Exactly, mate. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to stop that now. And there's probably international viewers that don't know what I'm talking about. It's like, what language is that? Yeah,
it can't be Japanese.
The other thing we have, as well as many other parts, is we've obviously got the XXXD S in. So we've got upgrades to the S. An example is the motor mount adjuster.
We also have turnbuckle sets, toe straps, a bunch of stuff
over there. We have the aluminium braces, the under braces.
We also have a bunch of original spares as well.
Yeah, so there's literally everything for an S.
You can upgrade an S all the way.
Well, we've got a relatively new driver here called Brian. Hey, Brian. Yeah, I'm tapping. Sorry. Hey, Brian. And Brian he's using an S.
He's got good fast.
He's got good, really fast.
He's what, 2 months maybe doing this?
Yeah.
If that?
Yeah, something like that.
And he's pretty good.
Natural talent. It's very worrying. But yeah, Brian's doing incredibly well, and that's just with the basic S chassis.
A couple of tiny upgrades.
Exactly.
Good electrics.
He's got good electrics in it, and he's got aluminium dampers, some adjustable turnbuckles, and a motor mount maybe.
One way.
No, well, he has the one way.
Yeah.
He's now gone back to a ball diff, and I think next time he drops in, he's adamant he's going double ball diff. Brian is a badass.
Brian is going to become Baba fast.
Yeah, I think Briaba.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, that's all the Triple X stuff. You know, I've got a Triple X again. Always a big fan of the Triple X. It's probably still.
I've
got the Duval, but
what really sucks is you've got a silver Triple X, which makes me miss mine loads.
Does this make you want a Triple X?
Really bad.
Triple X is a damn good.
I might have to get another silver one.
Straight up, my Duval, high speed stuff is better. You know, but for in terms of kind of just enjoyment and counter steer and options, like because we've got all the options here, the Triple X is just super fun. You know, like it's the chassis that I'd use just to drive around on massive counter, you know, rather than the Duval, which is on counter, it's pretty good, but the Duval, it comes into its own when it's high speed snapping, you know. That's when it's, you know, it's practically unbeatable, that thing in high speed snap, but this thing in counter steer is still my favorite chassis. It's still super easy to drive, and it's the reason I've got another one. So yeah, and that's you know, personal.
Are you going to tell us the world?
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. I've got it, so it'd be silly not to be honest. Excuse me. Right, moving on. I'll just shift those out of the way. I've got parts everywhere. The RMX is one I prepared earlier. So there's one of them.
And I was going to say
there's also one of them. So there's RMX.
You'll have to excuse the ugly wiring.
There's one over there as well. We've got RMXs everywhere. Jay, you've been using this item.
I can't see which one you're holding up. Oh yeah.
I don't think anyone else can see this either, but that is I'm going to read the official spiel. It's an RMX four-wheel drive shaft conversion kit in purple.
Very good.
Very good.
Very, very, very good.
Very smooth and not noisy. The RMX has got a very.
It changes the noise.
It's got a very distinct sound, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a very odd sound.
It's also, I mean, even now it's quiet, but you can still hear it.
Yeah,
it's not a high volume thing, but it's a very distinctive noise, so you can hear it across the track. I've actually been running my four-wheel drive chassis again, and I'm back liking four-wheel drive again.
That sounds like a guilty confession.
Well, I've been running rear-wheel drive for a while.
There's Mark Bennett, the Pettigrew brothers, Ben, and they're all out there looking at you going, James Simpson, shame on you.
Yeah, it's a funny one because I really personally struggle to drive both four-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. Some people manage it really well, like Tunksy, but I need to just focus on one at a time.
Tunksy now can just switch on a dial. It's ridiculous.
I'm better than I was, but it's still like I don't want to drive both. Like I'll have a day and I want that day to be rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
If I'm driving rear-wheel drive and I need to drive a customer's four-wheel drive car, it's kind of fine. But mentally, I turn up at the track and there's one of all the other that I want to drive.
Yeah.
So rather than... But I've been fitting I've got a bunch of the parts fitted. So the shaft drive kit has been fitted for a while now, and it's very good, very very smooth for a shaft drive chassis. Obviously, it's a hybrid effectively. It's shaft drive to the rear. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's
not
very quiet.
I mean, it's called shaft drive, but it's actually all on spider gears, isn't it? So
there is a shaft technically.
Kind of.
It's just very small.
I'd call it spider drive because it sounds cool. If you like Spider-Man, if you're more of a Batman fan, then you could call it Bat Drive if you want. It doesn't bother me. The other thing is with yours being four-wheel drive, obviously, if you did choose to go rear-wheel drive,
well, that was the original way that I went to rear-wheel drive before the shaft drive conversions came out.
Rear-wheel drive kits.
That's the belt drive kits. They come with a ball diff. They come with the belts that are required. They change the gearing and stuff like that. So it is a little bit more than just pulling your front drive shafts out, but it's a very good kit.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's comprehensive. Well. It's, an MST product is always pretty much comprehensive. Yeah. So you can't really go wrong in that sense. The other bit I'm looking at that you've done is the RMX aluminium spur gear cover, which you can't see in the slightest.
Wrong way. There we go.
There you go. It's this little item here that holds a spur gear on.
It just makes it look a bit nicer. Doesn't really add much in terms of functionality.
Well, what it will do is...
you can also find that on Instagram. I posted a photo of the silver one when I fitted that.
But what it will do is actually add a bit of mass, rotational mass.
Very small amount.
It's not a lot, but it's it's one of those things where you know, I can notice if I change between a carbon one, you know, I'm on the Deval, between a carbon one or I've got a couple of options of aluminium one.
There's definitely
a difference.
A difference, but when I'm selling somebody one, I'm just telling them it looks nice because I don't ever want it to be disappointed.
It does look nice. It's another, it's another
finishing touch.
New MST product that's like, you know, a fancier upgrade. You know, it's got some nice beveled and chamfered edges in it and things, and it's like it's interesting to look at.
There's a bit of a trend at the moment with people adding weight to their spur gear, and that will allow you to put some weights on very easily, I think. So yeah, if you wanted to do that, it should be simple enough.
Well, in theory, I mean, you could run a long bolt there and put some big weights in.
Yeah.
Again, rotational mass. However, if you are adding rotational mass on something like spur gear, remember you're putting extra load on the chassis
and the motor,
extra load on the motor, and also the smoothness it'll give you when you're accelerating. It will also give you dullness when you're lifting off. So effectively, having a heavier mass is you lose response, but it's also like having an increase in drag brake, if you like, because it'll speed up quickly and it'll slow down quickly. So bear that in mind. So yeah, RMX parts, all good. Got lots of those. I still need to get an RMX at some point.
Yeah.
Do you want to shift that one? And we will move on to FFXs, FFXD,
FFX.
you know what I'm trying to say. We've got them things. We've got obviously the VIP in stock. We've obviously got the FXXS in stock. I'll move it so you can see the S in the end there. And the new one that we have in is the FFXD IFS.
S.
IFS.
FXX.
S IFS.
Yes.
They make these easy to say for us, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Essentially, it's the exact same kit as the FXXS, which is £150. The IFS is £160 currently, but it has inboard front suspension. So rather than, as you can probably see on the box, well, maybe not, I can't tell. Basically, the dampers, instead of being upright on the
instead of being this way, they're on the chassis going that way.
So they're out of the way, give you a bit more clearance. Yeah. They are £160, but they also come with the LSD 2.0 gyro, whereas the standard one comes with a 1.0.
Yeah.
So they come with the updated version.
So 1.0, 2.0.
I think that's 1.0 currently.
1.0 currently.
Yeah.
Later, probably be the 2.0 RS, I'd imagine. With the
no, it'll be an S.
Still be an S.
Yeah.
Okay. With no. So yeah, we have many options of FXX. Still a very good chassis. A little bit overlooked, I think, sometimes the FXX.
Definitely. I think they're very versatile chassis.
Yeah.
They're obviously rear-wheel drive is standard, but you can convert them to four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Using a four-wheel drive conversion kit, which I can't see right now, but I know we have.
We do have. Handily enough, the other thing I have behind here is the FFX four-wheel drive lateral motor conversion.
Yep.
So we have the lateral motor conversion there, and we also have a two-wheel drive lateral motor conversion.
Their kits, obviously, they'll fit on any of those chassis, although I believe they are designed for the S version, off the top of my head. Yep. Essentially, they move the motor from being in line between the axle to being in front of the axle, a bit like an FS01. Although, however, they do actually reverse the motor direction. The spare gear is on the left instead of the right, I believe. But they obviously, it's like having a shaft drive. They call it an FSX because it's like a shaft drive FS, effectively. Yeah. And I think it's probably pretty good. I haven't actually tried one yet.
I haven't tried one either, so we can't comment on how it actually is. But I'm interested to try, just for the sake of trying it, really, because it's another product from MST that's a bit kind of wahoo and out there, but usually the stuff that they do that is wahoo and out there works. Yeah. So it's very interesting, and we did play with sort of having your old FS in rear wheel drive and messing around with that. It was quite interesting doing that. Yeah. So I think that's one of those things that somebody brave out there has got to try it, because we aren't currently running FX.
Well, even I think for a four-wheel drive version, I think it's probably going to make a pretty good chassis.
Yeah.
It'll be like having an FS01 but with more response.
In theory, yeah.
And I think that's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all. And weight over the front end is, it's an acquired taste because it
definitely lets you run big angles.
Yeah, we've all sort of headed towards rear mid, but actually having front grip does allow you to run on big counter constantly. So the rear mids are fantastic because you get that Tobashi forward snapping, but the FS and the sort of the front motor lateral position, is kind of, it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes, but. I'd like to try that because it's got to be an evolution.
I'm very tempted to get myself an FXXS IFS and fit the lateral motor conversion, because obviously I did pretty well with my
what would you call that? Because that's one hell of a
FSX.
FSX lateral something blah blah blah.
I did pretty well when I had my FS01. I won a few trophies. Got pretty good with it.
Yeah,
it's kind of the chassis that I went from learning about drifting to being all right at it.
Yeah.
And I think I'd probably like to go back to it at some point.
It made a big change. Yeah, I was talking to Ollie Bubbs, one of the old school drivers, about it the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, the FS is still one of the chassis that I really enjoyed." So, the other thing we've got, just before we get too off track, is if you have any form of FFX, we also
FXX.
have What did I say?
You keep saying FFX.
FXX. Sure, I said it right. This one is the S conversion, but there is a conversion for IFS suspension, and I'm pretty much going to assume that will fit on every version.
That will also fit many other chassis.
Yeah.
It won't be a direct bolt-on, follow the instructions kind of job if you put it on something else, but essentially it's a rocker system to move the dampers from off your lower arms to somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Well, you can put them, like, I'm pretty sure that kit will allow you to put it on an MS, for example, and put a single mono damper in the top.
Yeah.
No problem at all. It's just not designed for that, but it will work almost flawlessly with everything. It includes the bearings, it includes the links, it includes the plastic parts. There is a VIP version of that kit available now as well, which we'll have in stock fairly soon. Yeah. But
there you go.
It's only £18, including taxes and stuff, so it's cheap enough that I think a lot of people should probably just have that in stock ready to in the pit bag.
It's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I'll be taking one of those to the Euros for my chassis just in case.
It's cheap enough just to have a play with it and an experiment, really, because half the fun of our little hobby here is just experimenting with things and trying new things.
Yeah, definitely.
So get some bits, experiment, see what happens. It could go right, it could go wrong, but that is the fun of it. So yeah. Moving on, more stuff. We have changed the circuit.
Yes. Well, I was going to say new month, but it's not a monthly thing anymore.
No, it's a bi-monthly,
we're on to the round 3 circuit
thing.
now.
Yeah.
That's how I've started naming them. It's round 1, round 2, round 3.
Right.
Essentially, we're changing them for the competition.
Oh, because they're not like a month circuit anymore. No. It's not like...
And for example, we're still in April.
Yeah.
But this is the May and June circuit, so just stop the confusion. It's round 3.
It's the round 3 circuit.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's a fun circuit. I mean, people have obviously seen pictures and video footage and all sorts from here now. It's fun.
It really is. Yeah.
I think this is probably one of the most fun circuits we've had in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think we get a bit of stick for saying that quite often, but genuinely, it's always the case when we say it.
Yeah, because everything's got a new challenge, and actually, I'm finding that now that we're changing the circuit, we're having a longer period. By the time you get to the circuit change, you're quite amped about it because you're like, oh, what's going to be next? And even for us, we build the circuits and everything, but even for us, it's like, God, what are we going to do? Like how are we going to do something different? And a lot of the circuits end up kind of almost looking the same, but they drive so differently.
Definitely.
And I think a lot of that is because of the lumps and bumps we have in the
even just a slight
surface.
tweak on line transforms the track.
Yeah, exactly. And
so when you actually do change the track, even though it looks similar, it's completely different.
Well, the thing is as well is all our circuits we try and lay out so there's multiples of lines.
Yeah.
So you can run not just 2 or 3 lines, but 4 or 5 different lines.
There's a lot of different lines,
and they all work. there's a race line, there's a drift line, there's a wide line, there's a show off line, blah blah blah. You know, or there's a train line, and this circuit, you know, everyone seems to have really clicked on the line for trains, and we're getting trains, you know, 8, 9, 10, 12 cars long now. You know, because there's a lot of room on the circuit as well, so that's a really good thing. But what we actually set the circuit up for is obviously we've got the Worlds coming up.
Yep.
So
end of May.
At the end of May.
Time? Oh, we're at the start of May now.
We're at the start of May now.
April.
So yeah, literally, you know, we've kind of set it up so that there's a good bit of practice for people who are doing the Worlds. You know, this circuit requires a lot of throttle variation, a lot of accuracy.
Yep.
So even
precision is important.
There's a lot of space. Like there is at the Worlds, but obviously at the Worlds, precision, like you're saying, is important. So we've got a lot of space, but a lot of precision required, and people are adapting to it really well.
People are really enjoying it as well. We're hearing a lot of people saying how much they like this track, which we hear quite often, but we're hearing it a lot for this track. Particularly. Which, you know,
it's a shame. We just had some international visitors.
Last week,
guys over from Norway.
Well, it's not a shame that they came. It's good that they came.
It's good that they came, but it's a shame that they missed out on this one, because I think they would have really, you know, really enjoyed it. I mean, the last one was fun, but this one just...
They didn't. They were here for this track.
Was it this one?
Yeah.
Have I confused the hell out of myself?
You have. They came the day...
I apologise. I'm a simple creature. Yeah, they were here for the new launch of the track.
They were.
Yeah, but they enjoyed it anyway.
They did. Yeah.
They enjoyed it. And, you know, it was great having international visitors over again.
Yeah.
And it's good now to be able to go to Holland and be international ourselves. That's kind of an important thing, because, you know, we're
kind of stuck here.
A lot of time we're stuck here, you know, because we've got to keep the place open. We've got a lot of local people here now, so, you know, we don't want to let them down. But, you know, we do want to come out and visit people, and all you guys that come and visit us, you know, we really appreciate it. And, you know, we're working our asses off trying to be able to come and visit you again. Yeah. I did try last month or the month before, can't remember. I tried to go to Denmark and see those guys, and I got really sick and couldn't go.
That's kind of how it works, though, isn't it? We finished the competition this time, and then I got sick.
Exactly.
Since we have a little break, we get sick.
And speaking of you being sick, that explains... obviously, we've had the AC events competition. James has been really ill, and he does all the YouTube side of stuff.
Yeah. So we've selected our winner.
We've got the winner,
Edwin Pols from the Netherlands. So well done, Edwin.
Up the Netherlands.
We will be selecting later today the rest of the winners.
Yep.
It's one of those things I haven't actually been able to send out.
And if possible, if the winners are going to the World's competition, we will try and bring your bits out.
On that note as well, anyone who is traveling to the Worlds will be putting a collection code or a discount code up at the end next week.
Yeah.
And that will mean you don't have to pay for shipping, and we'll bring your parts to the Worlds on the opening day.
So that basically means, just to clarify, you go on the website, you order the parts you want, you click to the end of the basket, and it says, do you have any codes? You put the code in, and it removes all shipping charges for you, and we will personally hand deliver your parts to you.
At the competition,
I mean, you can have, you know, an extra pubic hair with them or whatever you want, really. Just make requests.
Odd thing to request.
I don't know. Somebody might want that.
No,
but yeah, you know, we can do that, and we just, you know, hopefully it'll be able to help all the MST drivers and customers out there.
Yeah.
That applies to MST, Overdose,
anything we sell,
anything we've got in our store.
Samwa, anything. There should be no issues with anything, because your order will be picked and put aside with you. If there's any special requirements, we can look into that as well. So feel free to send us an email. Contact us, no problem.
Also, for the kind of, you know, the UK effort for the Worlds, we're going to put on some free of charge private practice sessions for people who aren't entered in the Euros.
And just to clarify, they'll be additional. They won't take anything away from our regular sessions.
We're working out when that's going to be, but it's just so, you know, all the UK guys, we can get together, we can all kind of, you know,
have a practice together,
bond as a team, and, you know, try and just get the vibe going. You know, we're getting pretty hyped for the Worlds, because at worst it's kind of a week off for us.
It's a week away. I'm not going to say off.
It's a week away.
Off
Yeah.
is completely the wrong thing. It's a week of work.
Well, it's a week where we can walk home instead of drive, 20 minutes, half an
And
hour.
we can walk home via somewhere and have a beer with some friends.
Yeah. And you do like beer, so
I do.
that works for you. So yeah, we'll hopefully be able to get everyone together and help you all out, and work together as a team and try and kick some ass. I don't know what's going to happen or whatever. It's just about
fun.
It's just about fun. Like literally, I'm not bothered where I come, because if I get bothered about it, then
you get bothered about it.
Then they'll be bothered about it, and I'll do no good just because I'm too stressed out.
I'm hoping
you did well last year, and you were like me, where it's like, oh, I'm not really that bothered. But this year, you're kind of, oh damn, I came fourth last year. I've got to do something good.
Kind of. I've got my excuses lined up for if I don't know, so it's fine.
Yeah. I wonder, maybe best chassis for a second year running.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
I'm wondering when you're going to start your rebuild, because I know it's coming.
I'm not, man. It's not happening.
I bet you do.
I might paint the shell. What time do I have? I have no time. I'm busy, fixing my Corolla, really, because it breaks all the time. If anyone didn't know, I've got a Corolla.
2 and a bit.
But yeah, it constantly needs attention. So every time I've got a day off at the moment, I'm basically doing something to that car, like
you're in a business and you're a part-time mechanic.
Making the rear axle actually straight, or making the front suspension work. I took it out again last week. Was it last week? This week?
Yesterday.
No, day before yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And it was much better. I've changed the rear suspension completely, and it was much better. But now the front end is still jumping. So whenever I hit bumps, instead of it like sort of, absorbing the bump, it just goes whee. But yeah, it's good fun. And I kept up with a 600 horsepower FC, which seemed like a miracle at the time. And Jay keeps telling me about Corolla magic, and the magic happened.
For those that don't know,
and I don't understand.
Mitto has been a Nissan fanboy for the last 15 years, and
I'm a bit beyond fanboy. Fanboy? What's a fanboy?
I don't know, but essentially,
like
for quite a few years, Mitto thought that Silvias were like all you needed, and they were ace. And now I've sort of broken his mind by introducing him to Corollas.
It was you and bloody Chris Parry.
Everything I've told him,
warped my brain.
He's gone like, yeah, it's not true. And as time's gone on, he's like, yeah, okay, like I get it now. And he's this close to getting it. I keep teasing him, but he's this close to getting it. There'll be a day, and he just turns around and goes, and then he'll be like, well done, Padawan.
You dick. But to be fair, it's so hard to drive, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
Because if you do anything that isn't crap, it's the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
Most of it's crap.
I was going to say, most of it's crap, most of it's slow,
and
most of it's messy.
Generally what I'm doing
panicked.
is I managed to get one lap in where I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then by the time I've done that lap, like the steering's so heavy and you're doing so much work, it's like, all right, I need to just relax for this lap. Like I've got no energy.
Now I need to
Give me a minute. I just need to breathe, So yeah, that's going on. And if you've got the money, buy a Corolla and try and kill yourself in it, because it's hilarious.
Then buy a second Corolla for spares.
Yeah, you pretty much need that. Questions. There's got to be some questions.
We've got a fair few questions.
There's got to be someone there going, will Mitto just shut up about that Corolla?
No, there is somebody asking a different question that I saw yesterday, which I'm going to get to first, I think. I can't remember who it was, but just bear with me 1 second. That was Gavin Roberts.
Hello, Gavin Roberts.
He said, can Mitto tell me how to survive in Japan without getting an actual job?
If you don't want an actual proper job, you need to be a private English teacher. You can go and do something called a TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language. TEFL, yeah. TEFL. They just refer to it as a TEFL. There's various places that do it. It's about sort of 250, 300 quid for the basic course. If you have a degree in the UK, it is certainly very helpful. If you don't have a degree, you'll bodge it somehow. But basically, if you take a TEFL course and go and buy used parts, not in Up Garage because they're actually really expensive. It's a fallacy that it's super cheap. There's places like Monster or Taihei Tire, or you get to know people that have got junk yards and things like that. Then you can sell bits on the internet, which makes a bit of money. But generally, doing a TEFL and being a private English tutor is about the easiest way to do it. There's companies like Jet or Nova. I think Nova closed down but reopened or something like that. But they'll give you a job before you get there. They'll also land you in an apartment. Good luck if you think you're going to get parking with that. If you want to park your car, the cost of that any sort of apartment is between, anywhere that isn't Tokyo is kind of between sort of £200 or £300 a month. Anywhere in Tokyo, £500 a month just to park your car. That's it. So
anyway, back to RC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the question. So.
Okay. Miles has asked, is the new employee of SORC going to be announced? That's taken a bit of a delay because we've always planned for that to happen after we've got back from the Worlds.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we get on with that when we get back. Alberto has asked, did the message of my giveaway win get lost in YouTube service? We've kind of explained that.
Yeah.
So
although it makes me want to say Alberto, like the what's it called? Damn it, the film. Not Happy Gilmore, the other one he does. The Water Boy.
Oh,
and he's called Alberto, and he got Alberto.
William has asked, any plans for recorded drift competitions? And I don't know if he means like video recorded
or live stream recorded.
I don't know.
But if you have a look on YouTube, search for RC Kingstar. Andy King comes down here. He's taking a load of videos and he's putting some nice stuff out.
Yeah.
So you can have a look at what goes on down here. So search RC Kingstar on YouTube.
Gavin's also asked, what about a live feed of session days or comps? It's a little bit tricky for us at the moment because we have real problems with our internet connections, as you can probably tell, since we're not HD this week.
So you can see some blurs, sort of. They go.
Yeah, it's a really tricky thing. Essentially, we're really limited by the internet connection that is available to us without spending a huge amount of money, which would completely unaffordable for our business.
Which we've been heckled about today.
Yes, but we would love to do a live stream. But if we do a live stream, it means it interferes with our internal network, which interferes with our scoring and things like that we use in-house.
It just interferes with our lives.
I would like to be able to do that. It may be something that happens in the future, or it may be something that we just record and post later on, because I know Andy's been doing that as well. He's been posting videos of exactly battles from competitions. Doing, yeah. So they are available. So as Mitto said, check out RC Kingstar on YouTube, and you'll see footage from competitions here. I'm working on some other stuff as well, but that's for later in the year. Right. Darryl has asked.
What, Darryl?
Well, he's just said recommended rear-wheel drive chassis. I'm going to say if you're on a budget, an FXXS, the IFS or the standard version, and if you're not on so much of a budget, an RMX in rear-wheel drive. This is my four-wheel drive, but the FXX VRP is fantastic easily, and has a lot of options, as I say. What are you doing?
Having fun.
Taj has asked,
are
you guys preparing for the Worlds yet? We kind of already mentioned that. If so, what are you working on?
Hang on. Is anyone ever prepared for the Worlds? Is anyone actually got their chassis ready in time? Like everything's done, my setup is done, my body's done. Everyone is messing about with their stuff on the boat or on the plane or at the event. They're always like, oh, panic, gotta get it done.
Can I just point out, I was ready last year.
Yeah, but you're a freak. You're not a normal person.
I was ready like 2 days before. But
clearly, you've got too much time on your hands, and you need to be in the office more. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So anyway,
it's not just I sit in the office and preparing there. Right. Ryan has asked. Actually,
which Ryan?
Ryan Royer.
Ryan Royer. All right, geezer.
He's also he's mentioned about Brian. He said, "What are the benefits of running a front ball diff, or just a ball diff in general?" As after seeing Brian drive with a front ball diff the other day, I'm tempted to see if it's worth a go.
I'm going to describe Brian as I was watching Initial D, the 5th stage last night. Booyah, keeping it real. Brian is a black hole. That's all I can remember of the description. But it was like Brian's a black hole and everything around him seems to get sucked in. So Brian's like an unknown quantity. Like, I don't really understand how he's driving.
Shall I just explain it in real English? Brian practices a lot. He drives here.
Don't tell him that.
He drives here on a Wednesday. He drives to Wickham on a Thursday. He sometimes drives here on a Friday and here on a Saturday.
You can't just say some Zen shit, then it sounds cool.
Or just come here and practice.
Or just practice a shit ton. But yeah, the whole ball diff thing it's an acquired taste, and Brian definitely has a natural ability. To drive with a ball diff that way is not easy. It's generally looked at as being very high level. It might be luck. It might just be luck that his ball diff is set up absolutely perfect. I think he's like Jay says, he's got a natural talent. He practices all the time, and he's always playing with his car.
He's very, very into it.
He asks, when he comes and asks a question, it's very specific. Like, he doesn't ask general questions. He tries stuff himself all of the time. You watch him when he's down here. He's always messing with the chassis. And then when he asks either of us a question, it's like, what if I do this? Like, very specifically.
I get the impression that Brian's tuned full-size cars before.
I don't know. But Brian seems to know what he's doing. Brian is a black hole. That's how it was. It's like Initial D, 5th stage, episode 12 or something like that. And just they're describing Takumi Fujiwara, and Brian is basically the RC Takumi. He doesn't make sense, and it pisses me off. Anyway, Brian, if you're watching, control the size of your head right now.
Yeah. Anyway, so specifically for Ryan's question about ball diffs, it's worth playing with. Try them.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I think everyone should have a ball diff for their chassis in their pit box.
I want to go double ball diff.
I will
mostly because Baba did it, and Baba just is ridiculously good. So, and also it's about being able to control individual wheel speeds.
I've just realised I can do a double ball diff.
That's fantastic, but I'm just explaining why you would want a double ball diff.
I didn't realise.
And it's basically being able to create slip between the front wheels and the back wheels, so that when you're on lock and you're driving, all of the wheels are providing identical grip, which basically means that you're moving as fast as your chassis possibly can be.
Identical is completely the wrong word to use. Optimized.
Optimized, yeah, because it's kind of Korogashi at different speeds on all four wheels, if that makes sense.
It also allows for very specific braking.
Well, it allows for braking.
For front wheel braking as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have a ball diff on the front.
So anyway, that's how ball diffs work, something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Next question.
Luke Pettigrew has asked 2 questions. He said, "What would you consider?" I'm guessing he means letting the drivers come up with a track design. We would listen to ideas, but we're not going to go and design as a track, because our business depends on our track being good. And if somebody put a bad track down, it would cost us a lot of money.
I think people underestimate how much experience it takes to make a track.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? I saw a video and post the other day from our first event at Driftworks, and that track was horrendous.
Yeah, we had some pretty bad tracks back in the day.
Had 90-degree turns on.
We thought they were amazing.
We did, and they were great fun.
They were great fun.
We were at a completely different level then.
Yeah. Now it's,
things have moved on.
If we could go back to that and recreate that scenario,
it would be pretty
with
good.
that amount of space. That place was huge. We could have done some Uber stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway,
his next question is: are you still considering bringing in other brands? Yes, we are. We've got lots of stuff lined up.
We always are.
The problem we have at the moment is lots of people have reverted to ordering stuff from Japan or abroad or elsewhere, which means it's a huge risk to our business to invest in loads of stock that people are buying elsewhere anyway.
There's lots of brands out there that are very good,
and there's lots of brands that we already have deals set up
for us. There are, but for us, we need to be able to make sure that we can do what's on the wall behind me, which is supply all of the spares and keep everybody's chassis running. So unless I've got a hair on my hat, unless we're in a position to support what we're doing, we're not just going to go, here's a really expensive chassis. By the way, you can't have any spares for it. Although we do the Devals, but that's a bit of an odd case because it's.
But there's so few people, there's so little demand that we only have.
I believe there's 3 in the UK.
Yes.
There's 2 official ones and 1 unofficial.
Yeah, grey import
Devals out there. So very limited numbers.
There's a lot of things that we'd love to be able to do, but it's a very big risk for us, especially seeing as the summer is our quiet period.
However, if there is a huge investor out there with £500,000 or something of that nature, and you would like to join us in our RC business, please feel free to email.
Write me a check.
Write me a check.
Yeah, no, we do plan to. We'll see what we can come up with. It's just about minimising risk and working as a business, because you can't run an RC shop as a hobby. It has to be as a business.
Which is ironic, as it is a
huge
hobby shop, and it is our hobby. It's what we do. So,
right. Just thinking if we've got any more questions or refresh all the pages. We did have a YouTube. Let me just see. You kind of need to keep waffling while I'm doing this.
I'm waiting to see what happens.
We shall see.
I got distracted by the illegal entry. Somebody came in illegally.
See.
There's a sign on the door and everything.
Let's see.
Do you feel ashamed yet? It's all right. You're not on camera.
Right. I think I can't find it. It's not loading. So I think we're kind of done.
What have you broke
No,
it?
just YouTube. They've changed the app, and now I can't find comments.
Is it weird? Like, because there's actually another human in the room now. I feel like more judged.
There we go.
I feel shy.
There.
What have you done? You found it?
No, they've just moved everything around, and it's ridiculous. But let's see. No, I think we're done. I don't think there's any more questions, to be honest.
Okay. That didn't seem like that many.
No, it wasn't loads.
Okay.
They were good questions.
Whoa, what's happening?
I'm trying to press pause, and there we go.
Oh, okay.
No,
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
no
anyway,
more questions.
that's
You guys suck. Ask us more questions, because it lets us waffle. It's what we enjoy. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining, and thanks for watching us waffle stuff and looking at chassis and stuff and cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And talk
We'll be
about
back next
Corollas
Friday.
and stuff. We'll be back next Friday.
Hopefully with a load of overdose stock that
Waffling, maybe in the new location, the alternative location.
Yeah, which lets us do HD.
We're still experimenting with everything. We've got a new microphone here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. If you move this way, so you got a bit of a backdrop. There you go.
Right.
You can see that. Yeah.
It's just a half decent microphone.
We've got a microphone there.
Well, hopefully it lets you hear us better.
It's got a thingy on it and everything, so we can like beatbox and all that stuff. I can't beatbox. Can you?
No.
I bet you can.
No.
You've got the lungs for it.
I've got the lungs. I thought you were going to say I got the rhythm.
You've probably got that as well. You are a musical type of guy.
Kind of.
I mean, you listen to completely gay music, but so anyway, that was Waffle Time. If you have got more questions, fire them in, and we'll try and get back to you online, or we'll answer them next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, thanks for watching. Like and favorite shit. Become some kind of
RC God today.
RC God today.
Yeah. Something like that.
You will be welcomed into Valhalla by being really badass at RC. I'm pretty sure that's true.
Is it bad if I just cut you off?
No, well, maybe.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
So anyway, thanks a lot. See you later. Bye. Goose fry. Bye.